So the Oyster Rally looks like it is finally starting to clear out. It has been gray and rainy for the last few days, but it is clearing up now. So we are going to be leaving and find another anchorage. First, though, we have to deal with our anchor chain. What are you doing down there, babe?
We put a fender on our chain to keep it from catching on a rock below us. And I'm trying to get the fender off. Don't know how this is going to work out. Maybe I can do it without flipping myself.
The hawse hole leading to our chain locker isn't big enough for the fender to fit, which is why Amy was in the kayak. The kayak wasn't quite stable enough though, so she ended up handing the fender up to me so I could get a better grip. Alright, fender's off, ready to go. Alright, babe, where are we off to today?
We are headed over to an anchorage called Bavatu. And we hear that there's a little plantation and a road that you can go hike. So it should be good.
Gonna have a fun one today, light capping out there.
Pretty windy. Yeah.
It was a pretty short 6-mile hop over to Bavatu. With that short of a distance, and the fact that we'd be dealing with lots of wind shifts thanks to the island, we didn't bother with raising the mainsail. But we did at least get the Genoa out.
Okay, I think we're ready to make the turn now.
Love it when we get to go sailing.
It is perfectly clear outside. So beautiful. It was very cloudy this morning when we woke up. It even rained. We thought the forecast was just shenanigans, and now it's pretty nice.
Yeah, we'll take it after the last few days of rain.
Yeah.
The wind has gone back behind that island, so not blowing 20 anymore, but we're still moving. I'll take it. Coming around the back side of the island, the wind is just straight up the nose, so gotta motor the rest of the way. We've got a little bit of sailing in. I find it way more frustrating sailing around the islands with all the seemingly random wind shifts than I do sailing in the open ocean. The channel to get around Vanua Balavu is very narrow, not very well charted, and has lots of reefs on both sides. So motoring was definitely the way to go for the last stretch. anchor secure. I love it. When it just grabs on, you can feel the boat jerk a little bit. So we're here, we're good. Okay, it's the next day. We're in Bavatu Harbour still. And the reason we've come here is because there is a hike to be able to get out and see a supposedly gorgeous view over the Bay of Islands. So we've been waiting for the rain to pass this morning, but we're packing up and getting ready to go. Amy is in here working on something muy importante.
Making gorp.
Ah, yes, snacks.
Yeah, gorp is really just kind of a catch-all for nuts, raisins, and, well, we throw M&Ms in.
Well, of course. Oh, little trail mix.
Yeah, I had to buy these little individual 50-gram things of M&Ms because they didn't have anything bigger. That annoys me.
Can't get everything in the cruising life, I guess. We were the only boat in the bay, so there wasn't anyone to ask exactly where the hike began. So instead, we just made our way to what appeared to be the local fishing dock to see what we could find.
Ah, I forgot to tie my shoe.
It's time for another hike. It is 10:35.
Yes.
Any idea how long it's supposed to take?
A couple hours.
Apparently there's a plantation, road to walk along.
And a nice view.
Let's get to it.
Alrighty.
Well, that is one of the most random signs I think I've ever seen. Congratulations, Alex Locke.
I know. It's a pretty random, like, world record. Alex Locke climbed these 271 stairs in 56 seconds. So, bam! I'm not gonna even try.
Yep, you already lost.
Damn it.
After being on the boat for quite a while, where the most steps we have to climb is 6, going up 271 feels almost like climbing Mount Everest. Our legs were definitely burning by the time we got up to the top. We knew that the plantation marked the official start of the hike, and the few buildings at the top of the hill was a promising sign. Nice little walk.
So far.
Guess we found the plantation, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So we just came through the plantation. We talked to the manager. We think his name's Philippe. What did he tell us about the plantation?
He said that it used to be a coconut plantation, but Cyclone Winston came through and caused a lot of damage. So while they wait for the coconuts to come back, they are raising livestock. That explains the cows, the sheep, and the horses we saw. And he said there's 6 guys living there, and he pointed us in the right direction and told us to follow the road. Which, by the way, is basically just grass.
Yeah, not exactly
Not like a
Houston freeway or
not
anything.
a dirt road, not a paved road.
The simple fact we were doing a hike that didn't require us to climb over boulders or ford rivers made me quite happy, and also meant I was able to enjoy the scenery a bit more than I normally do. It never fails. There's always an uphill part on every hike we go on. Fortunately, that uphill meant we were just about to the view we were searching for. We think we found the viewpoint. Got a nice little marker. Gravesite. Dude from Scotland, apparently.
Oh, I think we found it.
It's the Bay of Islands.
Yeah, nobody's there.
Guess all the oysters have left.
What an amazing view. This was definitely worth the not that long hike.
The time had finally come for us to experiment a bit with time lapses, and this view of the Bay of Islands provided the perfect opportunity for a first attempt. After making Amy stay through a rainstorm to get the shot, I had to relent and start making our way back to the boat. So the viewpoint was awesome, but now that we're hiking back, it's just like we always say, what goes up must go down. And it's been raining a little bit, so it's kind of slick. Better get the camera on Amy in case she falls down.
Thanks.
I'm happy to report that we both safely made it back down the hill, and soon we encountered more of the animals from the plantation. On our way back, all the sheep are running from you.
They are. They're not as friendly as the sheep in New Zealand.
Wow. There's a lot of them, though.
And there's lambs, too. You can hear them.
Sheep on the run. With no animals to make friends with, that meant our hike was officially over. All that was left was to go down all 271 of those steps again.
So we've spent one night in Bavatu and did the hike, which was the big thing to do there. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. And now we are headed out towards Susui, which is another village, and our friends Lewis and Alyssa from Quixotic are headed this way as well. So we're gonna get to see them tomorrow. And then it's probably gonna be our last stop in Vanua Balavu because we think we have a weather window to head south to Fulanga, and we're very excited about that.
And of course it's still raining as we're trying to make our way out.
Yeah.
So good thing we've got a lot of good waypoints.
Yes, waypoints, because our visibility is not so great right now.
Some friends of ours who'd just been to Vanua Balavu sent us the waypoints they had used to get successfully around this part of the island. That was fortunate, as the gray, rainy weather makes it incredibly difficult to spot a reef that may not be that well charted. And of course, the weather didn't cooperate, and soon got even worse.
I think we're gonna get rained on.
What makes you say that, my dear?
It's a little dark and stormy gray in front of us, and it's headed this way.
Oh, did we find the rain?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's making its way. That's okay though. We'll stay nice and dry in here.
Yeah, it's just like we planned it that way or something.
I know. Ta-da! This is open, but this is the leeward, so I think we're okay.
Famous
I
last
gotta get
words.
some airflow in here, you know?
Yeah, I can't have you passing out from heat.
Yeah,
That'd be no
that's
good.
bad.
So now that we've made a little bit of a turn around the island, we've got a slight bit of an angle to sail. So we're gonna motor sail because we're still going into the waves pretty hard, but I always like it when there's a sail out. Life's just better that way. Has it stopped raining yet?
You know, it actually didn't start raining as hard as I thought it would.
Yeah, it looked pretty nasty.
It looked really bad, but it didn't like pour buckets on us, so that's kind of good.
Yeah.
But we have about like 2 miles to go until we get to
That island,
Susui.
right there. You can see the
That
village.
right there.
I see it.
Yeah.
And if the rain holds off long enough, we may be jump in fast enough to go do Sevu.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure if there's a time limit that is inappropriate to go do Sevu. We'll see.
Anchor's down and set. SAS Planet, huge help for finding a good anchoring spot in a place like this. It is 4:45, so it's getting a little bit late, but we're going to try to make our way into the village and do our Sevu now so we don't have to worry about it tomorrow. We gotta take boat papers. And most definitely cannot forget the kava. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That was a non-event.
Yeah, a little bit. So we go in. It's like the third time we've asked for the Torongo ni Koro, who's not the chief, but the like village headman, I think, who's supposed to like show us to the chief and like present Sevu for us. He wasn't there. So we asked, is the chief in the village? Chief's not there. So I have to come back tomorrow morning, but the kids of the village, super friendly, helped us get the dinghy up on the beach, off the beach, racing us as we left. That was pretty cool. So we'll go back tomorrow. Now we get to shower, relax for a little bit. I'll take that after today. The bay was very well protected, so we had a nice restful night at anchor before making our second attempt at Sevu the next morning. We're ready to go try for round 2?
Round 2. See if we can give our Sevu.
We heard lots of drums this morning.
I know,
Kids
it's
singing.
like clockwork. 7 a.m. we heard drums, 8 a.m. we heard drums. It's like breakfast time for the whole village or something.
Or the start of school, because the kids started singing.
Start of school. It is Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll give this a try. Hopefully this works better the second time around.
Yeah.
There was quite a few coral bommies in the bay, and no obvious channel. So we stuck Amy up on the bow of Little Dipper to play lookout and guide us in. With all the kids in school, there was no welcoming committee this time, but we did have better luck finding the chief.
Mai taura ka tingom sa tu ko siu ka watura. Ram sa tu me siu dum ram tu ki. Mai tingom sa tu na bu sa ni Vanua. Taura kan to ka wa le wo ra ba ti to me na mata na ko. Wa bini na ta ki na bini numi o Vanua. Wa bini na ki na mata ni ko. Wa bini na ta ki na ila ra tu me ko. Tadi kuah sasur tuang rala, ini bukan yang budak raku, rongan kita cuma nama tadi kuah. Wah benar-benar tergolib, nama tadi kuah dari raku rongan cuma kena, dulu cuma na matenku, rongan saya cuma gini bukan nawa, hartu maru golib, lebih benua bukan nawa, ini bunyi bilang raku cuma nanti saya cuma nama tadi kuah. Amai tahu ni harus tokakin error kuah. Wah benar-benar tak boleh. Kalau betul kita ambil siap gelang, semua satu akan lebih bakal ngatak. Dok kalau ngatak cukup tuan ini besar. Betul itu tamu nunda korek. Mana? Dina amdo. Do. Naka.
All right, we did the Sevu, and they let us film, which was freaking awesome. So we've been accepted here. We can go tour the village for a little while. There's a school with 20 kids apparently. They've got a marine reserve, so they request that we don't do like fishing and stuff like that, but we can go snorkeling.
Yeah.
Not too bad, huh?
Sounds good.
The village on Susui is fairly small, so it didn't take too long to walk through. We did stop by the local school in order to donate a few supplies, and then we had a few rambunctious dogs try to entertain us. After doing our Sevu, the thing we were most looking forward to was our friends Lewis and Alyssa arriving. And we can see them. They're here. The last time we saw Lewis and Alyssa was during our mid-ocean meetup, as we were heading east towards Taveuni and they were heading west. At the time, we thought we'd be gone from Vanua Balavu by the time they arrived again, but we have the weather to thank for keeping us around just long enough to meet up one more time. You made it!
We did.
A little worse for the wear, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Survived. Since we thought our mid-ocean meetup was the last time we were going to see Lewis and Alyssa for a long time, this really was an amazing bonus. They'd had to bash into weather all the way here in order to arrive for a charter they had scheduled. So we kept it a pretty low-key night with some drinks up on the lounge deck and a delicious chicken parmesan made by the Admiral. We'd originally bonded with Lewis and Alyssa, and we took over some brownies to say sorry for invading an anchorage they'd previously had all to themselves. Little did we know that Alyssa doesn't really like chocolate, so Amy made something different this time, to Lewis's disappointment. Alright, so we've got dessert. What'd you make us, babe?
Spice cake with like a...
And poor Lewis and Alyssa, they look pretty excited about this.
Excited.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've never made this before, so just gonna have
Spice cake
to
is amazing.
see how it goes.
Don't know what the spice cake is. It doesn't look like a
It
brownie.
has spice cake.
Sorry, it's not a brownie.
For
It's
you.
okay. There's always next time.
All too soon, the night came to an end, and we had to say until next time once more.
Bye all! Bye!
Good night. Get over.
Aw, that's sad.
Yeah. Who knows when we're gonna see them again?
Yeah.
We thought the last time was the last time, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
This time is the last time.
Maybe there'll be one more time we don't know about.
Maybe.
Yeah. 'Cause they're gonna stay here, run their charters, and
Yeah, they're in Fiji for good. Well, cyclone season in New Zealand, but Fiji every year. So
we're moving on.
yeah, we're going west.
Well, Lewis and Alyssa, we'll miss you guys. The next morning, we got an early start, as we had a full day of sailing ahead of us, setting off towards our next destination in the Lao route, Fulanga.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our last video in Vanua Balavu. It is one of the most beautiful places we've ever been to, and we were very sad to leave, but next up we have Fulanga. In the meantime, David and I are on a road trip. We are driving between Adelaide and Melbourne, and we are spending 6 nights on the road, so we are doing it and doing it well. We have meetups coming up in Melbourne, Hobart, Sydney, and Perth, and we'll have a link below where you can get more information off of our Facebook page. Also, I'm very excited to announce that I am speaking at a conference here in Australia for women in sailing. It is the Gathering on the Bay through the Women Who Sail Australia page. And I am presenting called 30,000 Nautical Miles to Australia, a Photographic Journey. Most of the events are for women, and I hope you can join me in learning more about sailing. All right, we'll see y'all soon.